Hey, Freedom Frugalers, it's time for another Wellness Wednesday. And for today, I want to teach you what you should consider before getting that second job and working extra hard. Real quick, I know you guys see a change. I am not present at the moment. I had some issues with the video setup, but as I tell you guys all the time, Cousin Murphy always steps in every now and then. And if you don't know who Cousin Murphy is, he is the guy that says, everything that can go wrong will go wrong. But that's not stopping the show. With that said, we're going to move forward. Dave Ramsey talks about doing what you need to do to build the future that you want. He talks about working up to 3 extra jobs to get yourself into the life that you deserve. And as a personal follower of Dave's teachings, I would 90% agree that yes, you do have to get down and dirty to get the freedom that you deserve. But there's that 10% of me that wants to challenge your thinking in this manner. And the first thing that you should think about is hitting that like button, subscribing, and hitting the bell notification if you find anything helpful. It is much appreciated. Thank you kindly. So before you go out and try to work harder, consider these things. I'm not saying don't get a second source of income. You're right. I don't know your life. I'm just saying that if you can help it, just consider and explore your other options. Number 1, cut down on your expenses. If you're working to pay for some of your expenses or looking to get a second job because you think your expenses are too high, you might want to try reducing or completely cutting your expenses. No bill or expense, other than your necessities, I might add, is worth you pulling your hair out just to pay for them. If you find that you can't cut your necessities, your utilities, your rent, even internet now, you might want to go about reducing those expenses. Try to cut down some of your power usage. That does involve unplugging things and, just cutting your lights off or reducing your water usage. And if you live in a state such as Texas, as I have, they have what's called choice electricity, where a lot of electric companies kind of compete for price per wattage usage. And that was extremely helpful when I had my first apartment. But here in Tallahassee, Florida, we have one electric company and they use that to their advantage, but just kind of do what you can to kind of reduce what you can. And I know this one is kind of more of a drastic change, but find something that you can rent for cheaper. A lot of us go into more house than what we need and become what's called house broke. I know with the mortgage it's going to be a little bit harder, but if you can, try to find something cheaper to rent or cheaper to mortgage, okay? And you'll lastly find that some companies are willing to negotiate your payments. Number 2, truly, and I mean truly, learn passive income or level up your job skills, okay? I want to make sure you understand 2 types of income that I'm talking about in this instance. The first one is active income. Active income is money that you earn based on the time that you put in, okay? So this could be your job. This could be a service that you're doing on the side. Anything that requires you to exchange time for money. Passive income is money that you earn based on your past efforts. Now, notice I didn't say passive income is money that comes in without work. It does mean that you have to put in work, but it does mean that you don't have to work for it more than the initial work. So if you find that you can't get anything passive right away, you might want to consider leveling up your job skills so that you become more valuable in the job market and finding one job that requires less of your time but more of your skills so that you can get more pay. If you're thinking about passive income, think of a way to make money without having to work as hard or providing a load of resources. And what I mean by resources, anything that takes your time, your money, and your energy. You don't want to provide a lot of those resources. You do have to provide some of it, but you don't want to provide all of it. Lastly, you want to find something that you enjoy doing that can allow you to make passive income, okay? Or at least you don't have to work many hours or whenever you want, okay? And I talk about the 4-hour work week all the time by Timothy Ferriss, where he basically says it's not about working harder, it's about working smarter. And if you can find a way to drastically reduce the amount of time that you work at the same time providing more value, that's how you get the big bucks. Before you get a second job, realize that yes, you will definitely have more money, but will you have the time to enjoy it? Now, to me, it just seems backwards that in order to make time for yourself, you have to spend more time doing what you don't like doing. When will you have time to enjoy yourself and relax? And I know that sounds like some new age, new spiritual type BS, but if you live in America, you know that America is built on the idea that more time equals more money. I realized I was trying to break my neck to work only to pay for things and pay off things that ultimately didn't matter to me as much, okay? I found myself trying to stick to a status quo. And once I realized that breaking off those expenses and drastically reducing my expenses, I found that I've never been more happy, and I'm working on something that's bigger than me. Now, I do believe that you do have to put down the dirty work and sacrifice, okay? But when I think of sacrifice as not being able to watch your favorite TV shows and things like that. Sacrificing not going out, sacrificing, who you hang out with and what you do on the weekends and things like that. Sacrificing how much you eat, and how frequently you eat. That's what I think of when I think of sacrificing. Sacrificing small or, something that you can't go without to achieve a bigger goal. With that said, I don't believe that sleep is something that you should sacrifice. And that's something that I used to sacrifice. Sacrificing sleep is a bad idea, okay? Because it taxes you in the long run. The sleep that you lose now will ultimately catch up to you. And it took me being this many years old to figure that out the hard way. So now I cherish sleep. I value sleep. I try to go to bed as early as 8 o'clock. I've even gone to bed as early as 7 o'clock so that I can get up at 4 and do what I need to do. I'm up recording this at 4:50. What time is it? 4:58 a.m. as we speak. I believe that time is your greatest asset. Money and opportunities will always come your way. But no one, and I mean absolutely no one, no matter how rich they are, how wealthy they are, no one can make more than 24 hours. So you want to spend your years doing what makes you happy. All right. Instead of getting to the end, waiting for it all, hoping that it will all pan out, only realizing that you wasted your golden years. Okay. In conclusion, I personally believe that you shouldn't have to work yourself to death just to be able to afford things. You should, at the bare least, be considering finding a way to work less hours. Now, this sounds a bit more Finance Friday-ish, but I put this for Wednesday just to express to you this morning that working more hours in today's time seems to me more counterproductive to not just your financial freedom, but also your well-being. Just at the very least, consider these 3 things. And while you're at it, consider hitting that like button, subscribing, hitting the bell, and finally commenting down below if you're ready to take action by typing "I'm ready to be free" below. Also, if you have any other topics that you would like me to cover, I'm happy to see those below as well. I've been Izzy, your virtual mentor. And until next time, thanks for watching. Peace.